can we come from two different star systems? Like I have two conjuncts in Pluto, which are very close. Mm-hmm. And over time, contemplating and feeling into it, I can actually very much tune into both energies very deeply.
Yeah. So I'm so glad you asked this one, because I wanted to bring it up on today's call. First, we want to ask, what do we mean by origin? To me, origin, soul origin, is the most ancient path, something that as a soul, from a linear sense, I've experienced first, something that really shaped my essence. And for souls that are very, very old, from this point of view, if you look at the past, there is a lot in the origin, and it could be more than one star system, and both of it feels like origin. So it could be completely two different star systems, but it will still be there because it was so far away, and it's kind of deeply embedded in your essence because you've lived there so long. So absolutely, that's how I would translate or understand why is it that both conjunctions actually feel like, actually, I could be coming from there, but I could also be coming from there. I feel it's possibly because you lived in both these places. Or there could be, and I did come across this, that sometimes I receive a perspective of a soul that feels so mighty, so powerful, so majestic. Like if you imagine really a fractal of source or of some creator being that is so powerful energetically, like super powerhouse of energy and consciousness, it wouldn't be able to just go into one fractal. It would blast the physical reality of that place. So it sprinkles across multiple. It feels like a group soul, and you feel simultaneous incarnations in multiple places. So that's another perspective I'm getting with some people. And I believe in essence, it's the story of all of us, of all souls. Yeah. When you have that perspective, right? But for others, sometimes you view their soul history not from that perspective, but from more kind of fractalized, smaller version. So I always see this, some flowers have like small, they're like fractalized. You can see the fractalization of certain plants very beautifully. So I always see it as a soul, like eventually the origin is this one arm of the root of the plant, but then it fractalizes into smaller and smaller versions of itself. So for some people, based on their maybe less advanced level of consciousness, we are only allowed to view their soul history, soul story from that fractalized perspective. And that's all they could handle at that time. But for other souls, we're able to actually look at it from the whole arm of creator's perspective, and they can understand it, and that's what they need to hear. They feel themselves in that they resonate with that mightiness more than the more fractalized soul. I hope I'm explaining it metaphorically that you can get it, but I think it's all about the level of consciousness and the frequency, and based on that you match the stories according to that.
I feel that only through the relocation I actually could come to live one part of that soul origin. I only come in touch with both these origins because I'm living in a different part of the planet now, in a very different life also.
So interesting.
It's like another life.
Yeah, such an interesting manifestation. If you think about in the future, one day when you leave this plane, you will feel like both countries where you lived, complete opposites, you would claim them both as where you rooted.
Yeah.
But they're completely different continents. So it's like a fractal story of what we see in your chart. Two origins in Pluto conjuncting two different star systems, and they both feel like they resonate deeply.